It's finished Aldershot Town 2, Altrincham 0 here at the EBB Stadium, and with Phil Parkinson. Phil, disappointing result. What was your take on your side's performance today?
Yeah, I think you summed it up perfectly. A disappointing result, disappointing performance, particularly the first half. I felt we didn't turn up, did we, tonight? So really frustrating, but maybe it'll serve as a positive in terms of a bit of a kick up the backside. Aldershot with a better team on the night. And we've come to a team who are, a place below us in the league now. So it's not like you're coming to a bottom of the table team and being beaten. We're away from home and both teams are vying for them playoff spots, and it just wasn't our night tonight.
The first maybe 5 or 10 minutes, it felt like we actually made a reasonable start. But then after that, they seemed to get a grip of the game. And as the half wore on, we just found it hard to get our usual passing game going tonight.
Yeah, we did, and that's got to be full credit to them in terms of the pressure they put us under. They've just been beat heavily, haven't they, at the weekend? I know they've had a man sent off, and ultimately we are away from home. You're not always going to have it all your own way, maybe. Were we a little bit overconfident? I don't know. Only the players can answer that one. But when you're on a good run, you come to try and win the game. You come not to consolidate. So we certainly went toe-to-toe with them, as we always do, but unfortunately we come out second best tonight. And as I said, sometimes you just got to tip your hat to the opposition and say well done, and we've got to move on to our next game.
I guess even in the context of a game where we've been well beaten, things could have turned out differently, and Justin's chance in the first half on his one-on-one was maybe the moment we needed to go in for us.
Yeah, definitely. It just didn't go in for him, did it? He probably took a little bit too long, allowed the defender to get back at him, and I think if Justin puts that in, it could change the game, because goals do change games, but it didn't. And like I said, we didn't have enough to sort of turn the flow of the game, which we've been able to do previously. But listen, you're playing against a team who are fighting just as hard as us to be in the playoffs. So as I said, it just wasn't our day today, and you've got to give them all the plaudits.
People say that it's scoring a goal just before half time is a good thing, so scoring two was doubly good for them, and that just made it really difficult, not just to concede 2 goals in quick succession, but at that time, and disappointing goals from a defensive point of view, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, they've been great, haven't they? So I find it really difficult to have a go at the lads because of how well they've done, and at some point you are going to get beat, and to be beat by a team who are close to you obviously feels bad, but it could have been worse if it's a team down the bottom of the table. So to be beat by Aldershot is no disgrace. There's a lot of good teams that will come here and get beat, but it's just the manner in which you get beat. You want to see a little bit more goal mouth action, but I wouldn't say they had lots of goal mouth action as well. There was a war of attrition probably in the midfield, which they certainly come out on top, and first and second balls, all them little bits that you need to win a game of football. Probably the out of possession stuff they did better than us on the night, and a little bit of quality with the first goal, and then the second goal I think we've got to do better with. But ultimately I felt the first goal was a really good goal, and we would have been happy with that. But like I said, we've got to do a little bit better with that second one.
When you've made the first change that you've made, I think, in the game was bringing on Sam Roscoe, and that was, I presume, was that to sort of try and match up with the system. I wondered if this was a game where you thought about trying to match up the system. We've had this very settled starting 11 at the moment, but we will, I guess, for different games, need to be looking at different systems and different personnel.
No, absolutely. I just felt they were on top, weren't they? And I know we seemed to start the second half quite well, but then the sloppiness come in again where we weren't getting our passes away. But that was their good defensive shape and desire to win the ball. And I'll be honest, the 2-0 in terms, I didn't want it to be more than 2-0 as well. I was very aware it wasn't our day, and when it's not your day, sometimes that can turn to 3 or 4 quite easily in this division. So I felt when we did that, matched them up, we did cut our attacking threat out a little bit, but we controlled. We were far more comfortable in the second half. It wasn't as end-to-end, so it stifled their attacking threat, but it did ours a little bit as well. But I still felt we got down the sides of them quite well. There's a few balls flashed across the box another day. I think Jake gets on the end of one, Dior gets on the end of one, and we get in some 1v1 scenarios, but we just weren't good enough on the night. So that was my sort of mindset of, I've been here before away from home where a 2-0 can quickly turn into even more. I'm aware our goal difference is in a healthy position at the moment, and the way we were playing, we didn't look like we were going to be able to really get back in the game.
we're now entering into the period that we thought we were entering into maybe at the start of February, which is Saturday, Tuesday. And following on from that, as I say, we have had this very settled starting 11 that's been doing the business in recent weeks, but the coming weeks is going to be a big test of the squad as a whole, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly, and they'll be used, and like I said, no hesitation of bringing a Sam on, a Matty on, a George Wilson, a Dan Mooney. I know they haven't got on, but they're certainly going to be used, aren't they? There's no way we're going to get through this period of, what is it, something like 9 games in 5 weeks, and it carries on into the following month as well. So that's why they're here. They'll be used. We will have to change systems at times, but ultimately we're a confident front foot team. And tonight, as I said, it just wasn't our night.
We've been together at the end of games that we've won and had brilliant scenes with the away supporters. I don't know if you'd agree with me. I thought, in a way, the scenes at the end with the away supporters were just as important at a night tonight. The 92 that travelled made a point of coming down, applauding, lots of gestures to say heads up, and there was a real togetherness from the group. And I thought that I'm sure the players will take something from that, will they?
Yeah, they certainly will. I mean, our away support, it might not be the biggest, but it's strong. You can hear them. We're one of the loudest. And like you say, they could have easily have shot off there at the end to get the train or the bus or whatever they've come on, and they didn't. And that's been one of the things I'm really grateful for in terms of win, lose or draw. Listen, the lads don't deliberately lose games. They've tried. It's just not been our day, and just to have that togetherness, that connection is so important for us.
Thanks, Phil.